Welcome back to I've Got Something to Tell You, bonus episode 12 with Taylor and
Colleen.
And so we tell short story edition. I haven't done this in a while. I like to pull stories from Reddit. Colleen likes to pull stories from the top of her noggin because she's really good at that.
Well, thank you.
But yeah, should I just get right into it?
Get right into
My first
it.
story? Okay. I've always believed the house I grew up in was haunted. It wasn't just me. My mom, dad, sister, and aunt all had experiences there, and probably others too. My grandfather built the home before he passed away unexpectedly, and we always felt like he stuck around, watching over us. None of his grandkids ever got to meet him, but my mom once told me that when I was a toddler, I pointed to his old stereo in the dining room and asked, "Who is that man?" When she said, "What man?" I walked over, patted the air near his leg, and said, "It's okay, I see you." Apparently, I even recognized him in an old photo. I don't remember it, but it always stuck with my mom. Also, side note, when I was a kid, the same thing happened with my grandpa.
Really?
And it freaked my grandma out, but she was also kind of like it made her feel comforted that he was there, but it was also in the moment.
Yeah.
It was a little scary.
Yeah.
She said I was like at night because I had spent the night at her house and I was sitting at the end of the bed talking to somebody. And it's funny because I remember the dream that I had that night because it was my grandpa and he always had a belly. And when I hugged him, I could feel the belly. So like I knew it was him, but it was crazy that like I had that experience and then she saw something else like in actual real life. But anyway. So most of the paranormal things that happened in that house were subtle and easy to brush off until one night when I was in middle school. That night, I kept hearing creaks, knocks, and footsteps outside my bedroom door and in the hallway. My door had to stay open because the vent in my room heated the rest of the house and the hallway wasn't in my direct line of sight from the bed. These noises weren't constant, but they always felt intentional. Like whoever or whatever it was knew I was listening.
Ooh.
Don't like that.
No.
If I paid attention, they'd stop. If I ignored them, they'd either fade or I'd eventually fall asleep. But that night, they were different, more frequent, louder, and almost excited. This went on from around 10 or 11 p.m. to 1 in the morning, and I could not sleep. Every time I'd start to drift off, the noises got louder. I grabbed a Bible and started reading the driest verses I could find, hoping to bore myself to sleep. Eventually, I was half dozing with the light still on and my head propped up in my hand, but the noises wouldn't stop. Finally, I decided I'd try to sleep in my mom's room. Her room always felt protected, like maybe my grandfather made sure nothing messed with her. As I got up and put the Bible on the nightstand, I started walking to the door, and that's when I heard crinkling behind me. We kids had spilled stuff on mattresses before, so the plastic wrap was still on them. Sometimes you'd hear crinkling after moving, but this was louder, and it kept going. I paused at the door and realized it was still crinkling. I turned around and saw the plastic moving near the side of the mattress, like something was brushing alongside it. I could literally see the indentation moving from the foot of the bed up toward the headboard, and I bolted. I speed walked down the hallway. What were you going to say?
Oh my God.
I
speed walked.
Speed walked.
Were you sprinting?
I know. I just imagine someone speed walking. Really fast.
They got the hips going.
Yeah, the arms like flailing. I just imagine it straight arm too. So I speed walked down the hallway, imagine that in your head, towards my mom's room, trying not to run and wake anyone up, but I swear I heard footsteps behind me. When I got to her room, I woke her up and asked if I could sleep there. She asked why, and all I could manage was, "I don't know, there's something out there." She told me I'd need to bring my own pillow, so I went back to get it.
What?
Like, why? Sleep without the pillow.
Yeah.
Like, use your arm at that point.
Yeah.
As I re-entered the hallway, I heard the footsteps again, this time right behind me.
Oh.
I stopped. I know.
God.
Like, you did this to yourself now,
Yeah.
okay?
Stay in the safety of your mom's room. What are you doing?
I know. Something wrong with that kid. I stopped, hoping I could rationalize it. Maybe I was just hearing my own footsteps echo, but the house never echoed. When I stopped walking, I heard two
Why
more steps.
Why would you stop?
They're like, let me try and rationalize this at 1 a.m. real quick.
Literally, no need.
No. That 1 a.m. isn't the time to experiment when you just saw something get up off the bed and start speed walking behind you.
They're middle school?
Yeah, it's middle school.
They're all idiots.
Yeah, I agreed. I heard two more steps after I stopped walking, one farther away, the other just about a foot behind me. That's when I realized it was following me.
Oh my God. Not the first time?
No. This time I ran, I grabbed my pillow and sprinted back to my mom's room. I still heard footsteps behind me until I was nearly at her door. After that, I managed to fall asleep about 30 minutes later. Don't know how.
Okay. This is like the bravest kid of all time.
It's like they're freaked out, but at the same time, like, I need my pillow and I'm going to go to sleep.
I mean, either dumb or brave. I can't tell.
Both, I think.
Yeah.
The next day, I tried to shake it off. I didn't feel threatened, just unnerved. That was the only time it felt like something was directly interacting with me. I later overheard my mom on the phone and realized it had been my grandma's birthday. Years later, living in a different house, I found out my grandfather used to go all out for her birthday. So maybe he was just celebrating that night in his own way or getting ready for the big day. Thinking back, most of the unexplainable stuff that happened to me always seemed to cluster around this time of year. It makes me think that there was more to it than just a random haunting.
Makes me think your grandma didn't like you very much.
I know. They're like, let's freak this kid out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that one was kind of funny.
Yeah. I liked that one.
You got a story?
I got a story. So my story starts with this guy. He works in a small town and he talks about like it's really mundane, like same thing every day. And he's currently working at a pizza place and he's like bored. So he sees a listing to go work at a morgue and he just calls the number, talks to the guy and ends up getting the job. But he says that, you know, it's a really slow buildup because they're dealing with sensitive subjects. So like, you know, you start out just kind of like he kind of started off in like a janitor role, like cleaning up. And then he started like taking more like of a coordinator role where he would actually go get like death certificates and like things like that. And he builds himself up where he actually starts doing the death calls. So he would go when somebody calls and, you know, a body needs to be picked up. And they have a lot of sensitivity training. But he says, like, once you kind of go through the sensitivity training, like, you do kind of get a routine going of what you need to say. Obviously, be very sensitive to.
I used to know somebody that did that.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I feel like it was, like, meant for her, though.
Really?
Yeah.
She's just, like, a very, like.
She, we were like just talking about the hypnotherapy school, but she was going to be like I think they're called like death doulas or something. Don't ask me what they do. I don't remember. But she's worked at a morgue, and when she would pick up the bodies and stuff, she would like talk to them.
Aw.
Like not in a weird way. Just be like, hi, okay, I'm going to take like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
Aw. Well, so he starts doing the like death pickups and he gets a call and he goes to pick up the body and he's driving the car back to the morgue to like take care of the body. And he stops at a stoplight and he swears he hears something in the back.
Oh my God.
And so he like kind of like builds it up in his mind and like looks back there. He doesn't see anything, but he's like, I swear, like they literally put them in kind of a like wooden box. Like it's not in like the full like coffin yet. It's just to pick up the body and transport it. So it's just like in a wooden box and he hears the wood kind of like tapping.
Oh my God.
And so he gets back to the morgue and he has one of the women that's been working there for like 20 plus years. And he's like, hey, like, I think I heard something. And also he notes that when he moved the body, and he's done this a few times now, is that normally they're very cold. And this one felt warm, which was odd to him. So he has the woman come and check, and he had checked with a stethoscope, and he was like, I feel like I hear something. But he's like, also my heart was beating really fast because I was nervous about what I had just heard.
Yeah.
So the woman goes to check it, and she's like, I think I might hear something, but also now I feel like you're making me paranoid. So like this guy is dead. And so they're both just like, okay. And they get a call from this man's wife, and she is adamant that they need to they need to burn the body, and she wants the ashes as soon as possible because cremate the body, sorry, burn the body, cremate the body as soon as possible. And that she wants the ashes quick because she's going out of town. And he's like, this is really weird because like the first thing that you think of when you lose somebody isn't normally like
hurry up, I need
like
the ashes.
yeah, like hurry up, get rid of the like they normally are in like a grieving period, and if you're going out of town, like you would change your plans.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to like he's getting like pressure from his boss to okay, we just need to take care of this, like. And so he has to go and get like the death certificate and everything. So he takes the body to a doctor or wherever he has to go get the death certificate, and that's where they like certify it as like this is actually dead. And he brings it up to the person, and he's like, hey, like when he's driving the body again to this doctor, he swears he hears something. And now he's like, well, the woman at the morgue said she might have heard something. I feel like I've heard something, and the body's warm. Like something is just not sitting well with him.
Yeah.
And so he tells the doctor about all the things he's heard, but at the same time, he's also like, but I'm getting like pressure to like confirm that this guy is dead so that we can cremate him. There's a lot of pressure from the family. And so the doctor listens to the pulse, and he says the same thing. He's like, listen, I think I might hear something, but I don't think but it could just be like my own heartbeat because now you've made me paranoid. And so the guy is just like, this is just not sitting well with me.
Yeah.
And so he like escalates it to his boss. He brings it up. Everybody's just shooting him down. So ultimately he is like, okay, I must be the one that's paranoid. And so he takes the death certificate, and they go through with the cremation of the body. And he says that this was like a Friday. He leaves Friday afternoon, puts the ashes with like the death certificate and all the appropriate documentation on his desk to be picked up. Now he thinks that the woman is probably going to come in like early the next day. It gets to lunchtime. Nobody shows up to like pick this stuff up. Gets to like Tuesday. Nobody's come to pick up the ashes. And this is the sad part is he talks about this, and he's like, I think that I made the wrong call. And that he's like, I'm going to live with this forever. And it's so sad because he like starts tearing up, but he's like, I think that somebody did something and they wanted to cover it up because nobody ever came to pick up those ashes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder, like, maybe the heartbeat was so faint that, like, nothing was picking it up.
Yeah.
I guess.
And he, like, talks about, he's like, I've read about it. Like, there are things that, like, can make people seem dead when they're not dead.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'll never forget. He goes, I think I made the wrong call.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It's sad, but it's crazy.
That is crazy. That sounded familiar. I don't know. I wonder if you told me that before.
I might have told you that one.
Yeah. But that's also like number one fear.
Yeah.
Like one, being buried alive. Two, like being alive and they're cremating you. Like that's so scary.
So scary.
Okay, well I have a short one next. Like super short.
Okay.
This story takes place in a small town in Massachusetts. Me and my friends were sitting by a fire, drinking and having a good time, when one of my friends started telling a story. He said his dad heard whistling outside that made the dogs bark and their hairs stand on the back of their necks, or their hairs on the back of their necks stand up. My friend did the whistle his dad heard. It was sort of like a taunt whistle, but drawn out. As he's telling the story, I hear a faint whistle from the woods, and I tell my friend to turn off the music. When he does that, we hear a loud whistle exactly the same way my friend demonstrated from the woods.
What?
We stayed outside, but it's been a topic ever since that I bring up because that was some freaky shit they said. So, yeah, that was a short one, but I'm assuming maybe Appalachians.
Yeah, the wandering whistlers.
Wandering whistlers. Someone in the comments was like, could it have just been a neighbor? But I would assume this, if they're telling that story, then they're probably in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But either way, love a skinwalker story.
Yeah. All right, I've got one more story for you, and this one's more of a con. Okay. Did you ever hear about DashCon?
No.
Okay, so I stumbled upon this, and I feel, okay, I'm just going to get into it.
Okay.
So DashCon was a Tumblr convention that this group of people put together. And they, do you remember Tumblr? Or do you, okay.
I was just going to ask you if you meant like the website.
Yes, the
Okay.
website. So not like gymnastics.
Not gymnastics, not like a Stanley.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like a group of these people, and they're like cosplayers and like all into this community of like Tumblr accounts. And so this convention promises that it's going to have these like huge names in the Tumblr community. I apologize. I do not remember the names. I did not.
But
know.
they were huge.
They were huge is my understanding. And so they're going to have like these panels with all of these like well-known influencers within the community. And they are like blasting it out as like, come meet your friends in real life. Like you guys have known each other online. Like come like collectively dress in your favorite like cosplay outfits and all of that stuff. So it sounds like this amazing get together for all the people that have like built up Tumblr for what it was or is. And so they rent the convention runners rent the hotel, and they expect like 3,000 to 5,000 people to show up. Now they negotiate with the hotel saying, you know, we're estimating 3,000 to 5,000, and that is what the contract says with the hotel. However, the hotel has a verbal agreement with the convention runners saying that, oh, well, we'll only charge you for how many people come through the door. So it could be less than 3,000 to 5,000. And so as soon as the convention starts, things are already kind of looking janky. When people arrive, they walk into what is like an empty room where they go to get their like convention badges. And it's like literally one dude at a table. There's like no lines. And it's all the way set like at the back of this like empty room that you have to walk all the way across from to like go get your badge. Again, no lines.
I think I've heard of this.
Have you?
Well, I think I saw someone post about it, but that went.
Really?
But anyway, sorry.
No. So they're already, and like, it's just like written on the floor in like duct tape, like, welcome friends. Like there's no like, there are no like banners or anything up really. Like it's very like just table with a tablecloth that was clearly like provided by the hotel. So day one, everybody's checking in, and then the hotel realizes, oh, there are like barely any people showing up for this. So they decide to hold them to their contract, which says like they have to pay a certain amount of money because they're expecting 3,000 to 5,000, which is what the hotel is expecting to host. They only get about 300 people that show up. So the hotel says, no, you owe us $17,000 to make up for the difference. And so what they do, the convention runners, is they pull everybody that shows up, the 300 people into one room, and they say, we need to raise $17,000 in order to keep this going. And if we don't, you guys aren't going to see all the cool people that you signed up to see at the panels.
I'd be like, that's not worth $17,000. Bye.
So they start collecting money through like PayPal, Venmo, just like passing a bucket around to like collect cash. Now, there are some people that are suspicious of whether or not they actually raised the $17,000 in what they claim was an hour with those 300 people. And there are people who have like broken down how many people were in that room. And even if people gave like $20 at the most, they still wouldn't have come close to raising $17,000.
Yeah, I feel like there's no way. That's a lot of money.
So the idea is that they probably had more money that they were claiming, and they actually just
Like paid the bill.
No, they just got money from those people and pocketed it themselves.
Oh, you mean they already had money to pay?
Yeah.
And then they were just grabbing more. Probably. Jerks.
Yeah. So the convention goes on because they've now raised the money. And honestly, the people that like raised the money in the room, they start singing like "We Are the Champions." Like they feel like they've stuck it to the hotel. Like, you guys tried to kick us out. Like, take that kind of thing.
Or like, we just got scammed.
Exactly. Yeah.
I didn't even know.
So the next day, like the panels are supposed to start, and immediately people are like sitting and waiting for all of these people, all of these like influencers that they're excited to see. Not a single one of them like shows up.
Sad.
And so the convention runners are like, we're so sorry, like this happens. Like, obviously we're as devastated as you guys are. Like, we want to put on a great, experience for you. So, we're going to, I don't remember if they refunded them, but I know what they did do is they offered them an hour free in the ball pit that they put out.
Oh my God.
So
Lucky
fun.
them.
Guess what this ball pit was? It is a kiddie pool that's probably 6 foot by like 4 foot in the middle of an empty room that is just like filled with balls from like McDonald's ball pit.
Okay, if someone actually did that.
They actually did that. So this becomes like
So people actually took the hour to be like.
They went, yeah, because, well, they did it more of like
I'd
a
be like,
joke.
Fuck your ball pit.
It became-
Let's see the influencer.
Yeah, it became like a meme of like people just being like, we love the ball pit, like kind of thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so DashCon, absolute fail.
Yeah.
People were pissed.
Yeah, I want to look that up because I wonder if it is the one I was thinking of, unless this kind of stuff just happens all the time.
I think a lot of it happens all the time, unfortunately.
I know, that's kind of what I was thinking, like scammers and stuff, but sad.
Yeah. But yeah, it lives in the infamy within the Tumblr verse. So
The famous ball pit.
yeah, I had never heard of it. So when I read about it, I was like, wait a second.
I got a story.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that wraps up our short stories for this bonus episode. And if you want to tell us a story, you can email us at
igsttystories@gmail.com.
Yeah. Or you can send us a message or a comment on our social media.
IGSTTYpod on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Any of them.
Any of them.
Send us a message.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for listening.
Later.